Whoever wants to go first can go ahead and lead us off.
I'll go ahead and go first. So how did your team respond coming out of the sweep last week? What are you seeing in practice? And what do you need to prepare for this week?
So how am I doing in terms of preparation for this week?
Right. Coming out of the sweep and everything.
You know that we have 3 weeks left in the season, and the hope is that we're going to play our best volleyball the next 3 weeks. And I know there's been a grind for everybody up to this point. So I'm actually have been giving a bit more time off with the team. Tuesdays we go with a limited type of practice and a little bit of lifting, watching some film, and primarily we're now going just Wednesdays and Thursdays as practice, kind of a 2-day, and then we'll travel tomorrow, play the match on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we'll have off, of course, but the preparation is going all right. I wasn't real pleased with today's practice, but I feel like the kids are in a better place and are feeling the effects of having less practice time in a good way, and so. I think that Cal presents problems for us. Anytime we played at Cal recently, I'm not sure the last time that we beat Cal at Cal. It's been a while. It's one of those places for us. It's difficult for us to play there, and even though their record doesn't really reflect it, I think they're a pretty dangerous team.
Yeah, Coach. What was the message to the team after what seemed like an uncharacteristic and messy first set against Colorado, where we saw your team give up 6 serving aces and 6 attack errors?
It's a trend for us, a bad trend for us in the very first set. When we played ASU, we had several serving errors and receiving errors, and then when we opened up against Colorado, it was kind of the same deal. I think there was 5 or 6 receiving errors against us against Colorado the first set on Sunday, and so. I don't really have an answer for that. I think we steadied out after that and the rest of the match, but that's why I'm nervous about going in this weekend, especially being on the road. We haven't really demonstrated a level of consistency yet that makes me feel comfortable and knowing what I'm going to get from one match to the next. At home, right now so far we've shown that we're much better at home than we are on the road, and so hopefully this weekend we're going to be as efficient as we were this last weekend at home.
Anybody else have anything else for Dave?
So what about Cal's personnel? Who's most dangerous? Do you think you have to prepare for the most?
I'm sorry, Dan. Can you help me?
Just if you can give me your view of Cal's personnel.
With the personnel?
Yeah, Cal.
Cal's personnel. They have a young lady on that team that's the sister of the middle blocker from Washington, and she's a terrific player, a freshman. Cal's really young. Younger than we are. They're starting several freshmen, at least 4 to 5 freshmen. Their team was decimated from transfers because they didn't play in the spring. They didn't play in the fall. And then when several of their best players played beach as well. And so when the beach season overlapped with the indoor season, since it got pushed back in the spring, a lot of those players ended up choosing to play beach instead of indoor. And so I thought that Cal last year should have been selected to the NCAA tournament. It was kind of a travesty that they weren't. And then they returned everybody. But when the season got suspended and pushed back to the spring, their best players left. And one of them went to Florida and one of them went to Baylor. And so both those teams are in the top 10 in the country. And then their best left side hitter is now playing beach only. So it really hurt those guys. I feel bad for Sam. And basically he had to replace all those players in a really short window. And there just weren't enough, top level recruits. They have some really good players there. young. It's going to take them a year or two to kind of get seasoned enough. But they certainly have shown that they can be competitive with UCLA and with Utah and with USC. So with some of the upper level teams in the conference, they've shown that they can at least go 4 or 5 with them. So I'm not sure if we would consider ourselves an upper level team yet. We're kind of right in the middle. I'm not sure where we are in the standings. I haven't looked at the standings, but I think we're probably right in the middle. And so they're going to play hard. They're going to play loose, meaning that without any stress. And I think that they're a really dangerous team for a team like us.
Thanks. Last
Yeah,
time I looked,
Coach.
you were 6th.
Yeah, we're 6th, Dave.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, did I miss the question there?
No, I just said last time I looked, you guys were 6th.
Okay.
Brian, did you have
Yeah,
one?
Coach. Yeah, Coach, how pleased were you with the performances of Paige and Jesse over the weekend against a formidable Colorado team, and what really stood out to you?
I'm sorry, it was about Paige?
Right, Paige and Jesse, their performances against Colorado. Like,
Paige
what
and
really
Sophia.
stood out to you?
Paige and Sophia or Paige and
Jesse Harper?
She's a softball player.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, I meant Paige and Sophia. I apologize
Okay.
about that.
Well, Sophia really struggled on Friday night, and fortunately for us, Paige had her best offensive night and played the best she'd played since the season started. So she really was able to kind of carry us offensively. And then it wasn't that the roles were reversed because Paige played well on Sunday as well. So we got more production out of Sophia. And so having both those guys on the left on the pins for us has been terrific. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we continue to trend in the right direction.
Anything else for Coach Rubio? Go ahead, PJ.
Hi, sorry I was late. I had to do something for my mom and we got kind of delayed.
All good.
So I don't know what you guys asked before, what you guys were talking about, but you had some really good performances last weekend, not only from Paige, but from a lot of your freshmen. Do you think you guys are turning the corner right now? I know that you've been up and down. You've talked about that all season.
Yeah, I think we're getting closer to that. Certainly, I think the fluctuations aren't as great. We'll see. I think the answer. Talk to me on Monday. I think that we're certainly trending in the right way, right direction. And I agree. I think this was a good weekend, solid weekend for us by several players. I mean, Jaleesa, our serving sub, came in and really made a difference when she goes in and serves. We earned several points when she was serving. Melina Ua, who is a back row player for Jalen Hodge, passed really well, maybe the best match of the season in terms of serve receive on Sunday. And then our middles have been, with Ziona and Merla have been. I was telling Rita today after practice, I'm like, I'm so proud of how much they've improved throughout the year. And that's, when China went down 4 weeks ago now, going on her 4th week, I really wasn't sure what to expect from Merla, but boy, she's has met and exceeded my expectations and has really added to the team just in terms of her great personality and her dynamics and how hard she plays. So I'm really pleased with where we are, despite the fact that today's practice was lousy. But I think in general, we're making some good improvements. This weekend scares me to death, just because of playing at Cal, and we typically don't play well at Cal and haven't played well at Cal, and because when you're playing against one of the top teams in the conference, psychologically, you have to play well. I'm not sure with a young team kind of where that falls for them, but if I'm basing anything off of today's practice, it makes me even more nervous.
Kim?
And about Ziona, her stepping in now that Devin's gone, Can you just tell us about what you see in her as far as stepping into that role and being the number one middle blocker?
You know, Z was kind of thrust into the starting position last year when Chardonnay went down with a concussion, and really benefited from playing all year long. And that kind of transitioned in this year. But the demands of her position and what we expected of her became significantly more than it was last year. And so and you have to credit Rita. Rita really is the one who's been training the middles. And so she's done a fantastic job with both Merla and China and with Ziona. But the growth that Ziona has made, even within the last 3 weeks, has been substantial. I have people calling me who know our team really well and said, "I can't believe how good Ziona has gotten," And so, from a blocking standpoint and also from an offensive standpoint, both those areas we've seen tremendous growth from her, and it's just a lot, just kind of person she is. If you get to know Ziona, she's one of the most caring and giving people you get to know. I mean, it's always been about the team and about trying to do the best for the team. And so she's been, again, the chemistry for us and the team has been fantastic because of the attitudes that the players have.
Anything else for Coach Rubio? All right, thanks, Dave. We'll get.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good weekend.
All right. We've got Ziona Fellows here, and we will open it up for questions. Please use the raise hand function. Go ahead, PJ.
Sure. Hi. What do you think has been really working for you these past few weeks? You've really sort of turned it up a notch.
Yeah, I feel like with time, as the team practices and we all get better as a team, I'm able to also step up my game. So me being able to step up and attack behind the setter has really been powerful for us as a team. Not only that, but my blocking has gotten significantly better. I've been able to close the block. I've been able to get more square, and it's all been able to help the team get better.
And was there something a little different that you were doing, or the reps that you take, or is it just that you're clicking as a team now?
I would say it's both. We are clicking as a team, but I've also been getting many more reps. I take every opportunity that I can for the slide, so that's been helping a lot.
Kim?
So Dave was talking about how it benefited you stepping in last year to get the playing time when Chardonnay went down. What did you take from that, from being with Devin and from getting the playing time? What did you take from that last year?
Well, watching Devin and Char play, coming in as a freshman, I looked up to them and I was like, holy smokes, like I want to be like them. And then as a middle or as any volleyball player, you never know when something's going to happen. So I was shocked to go in, but it was like, my mentality was more of, now's your time to shine, get out there and play the volleyball that you know.
And what do you get most from Rita? I mean, both on the court and off.
Rita is like a second mom to me. On the court, she tells me, when I don't understand something that Dave says, she kind of helps me understand, puts it in the language that I understand. And then off the court, she checks on me academically, makes sure I'm okay health-wise, makes sure my family's okay. She's just like a mom on and off the court.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, so Coach Rubio mentioned that he's a bit scared of playing California this week. That being said, how important is it for you guys to avoid complacency and not overlook a team that's ranked last in conference standings?
Yeah, playing every team, you always want to work hard to beat the team and you want to have a good practice before. So, like, for example, today's practice, we could have did a little better and we know we have a good team ahead of us, so we have to play to that standard. And so as long as we continue to work hard and play our game of volleyball, not play down to any other team's level, we should be good. I believe that we can come out and win Friday and Sunday's game.
PJ?
And What do you think, first of all, where do you think the team is right now and at this point in the season? You know, there's a handful of weeks left. And how would you evaluate where you are?
I still don't think we're at our prime yet. From when we first came into the gym to now, we've went nothing but up. We definitely still have a lot of work to do, but now we're starting to work more as a team, not really as individuals. We're all starting to click together. So that's really a positive.
And what do you think was sort of something that sort of just made that happen, that you started clicking? I mean, you guys have been together for a long time, just practicing right before the season started and all of that. What, you know, and I know you have a lot of young players, but what do you think sort of is the key to this all happening for you right now?
Yeah, like you said, we do have a lot of young players. And I think as time went on, we started getting more comfortable with each other. Practicing together is one thing, but as freshmen, you're kind of like afraid to make mistakes, but you also want to do good. So it's kind of hard. But when you have the people who are there to comfort you and encourage you, it kind of makes it better and easier for the team to come together.
And how do you think, you know, Kim was getting into this a little before about last year, but how do you think that, you know, each of your years here has been completely different, right?
Yeah.
How do you think that's all informed, like how you prepared for this year and how you are where you are right now?
For me personally, like you said, yes, my years have all been different. And you really can't you can't know what's going to happen next year. Like, you have to expect the unexpected. And for me, I knew we would have a young team. I knew, like, I was there at one point, so I know how the freshmen feel. So you kind of just have to know to help them and remember that you've been in their shoes before. So with our upperclassmen helping the younger people, it's been very beneficial to us. And over the years, I feel like next year, these freshmen will be able to help the incoming people. So with time, it'll all come together.
And what's been your favorite moment so far of the season?
My favorite moment so far. My favorite moment is always beating the rivalry team. I just love the competitiveness both teams have and going after each other, and beating them is just always great.
Cool. Thanks.
Anything else for Z? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.